Welcome to the Chats and Tunes podcast.
Hey everyone.
This is just a quick pre-roll message to say that everything said in the episode is purely our own opinions and should be taken as such.
Yeah, so please don't send us any hate for the things we say and enjoy the episode. And we're back. We're live.
Round 3, baby. Let's go.
So, how are we this week?
I'm not too bad. I'm living life. How's my boy?
Tired. I'm fucking wrecked, to be honest.
Jeez.
Like I said in last week's episode, it was rag week last week.
How'd
For
it
someone
go?
who's a uni
How'd it
student, didn't go out very much, but I do have a funny story, but I'll tell it at the end of this bit anyway.
Okay.
But yeah, so just been trying to get on top of my assignments, going out drinking frequently, absolutely wrecked, sleep schedule out the window.
Yeah.
Not good. But how are you?
Yeah, I'm living, you know what I mean? I'm alive. But sleep schedule's been kind of muddled. I've been trying to fix that. I was really sick last week, so I didn't come up to the uni house. I was staying at home and I got my sleep and stuff sorted, so it was good. I was mad night last night. I was training and then I was out after straight away. And it was an experience. I was home and slept like 3 hours and I'm so tired. But
Oof.
I'm here to work, here to
Hey.
hustle.
It's a grind, you know.
It is.
It's not like we enjoy calling each other. We have to do this for a
it's a nightmare.
But yeah. So I take it you were training. You have any matches recently that you were playing in or anything? Any results?
Both my games last week were called off. I had a double week and they were both called off because of weather, which is a nightmare.
Big Storm Eunice. And
Big
now Storm.
Eunice,
What storm is it now? Storm Franklin or something?
I have no idea. Francis.
Francis, I don't know what. Whoever you are, get the fuck out, right? You're ruining the weather for us all.
I mean, it was snowing in Castlewells. So I was happy enough. Like,
I did see that. Connor sent me a photo, but
it was pretty cool.
Not a hit video. Just like literal painful winds. Like there were car doors near flying off, people falling over in the streets and shit. It was mad down here.
Oh, you got it bad, did you?
Yeah, there was flooding everywhere as well. It was proper like not nice weather.
That's mad. We didn't like. I thought it really wasn't a storm with us. It was just like the old bit of snow. That was it.
You could tell we were in the middle of a storm, and like everything was fucked. Our school got closed for 2 days. Like you couldn't go in person.
Right.
But that's that we had yellow or amber and red weather warnings down here. So
so it was real dangerous
weather. But I have to say, funny videos came out of it. I was seeing videos all over Instagram and stuff.
Oh yeah.
Like, people in England, literally, like there was one.
Oh yeah.
There was one that Evie sent me. That was it was like this like rainbow stripe had been painted along one of the footpaths in England, and it was like the video was just captioned Rainbow Road. It was like the Mario Kart song playing for Rainbow Road while they were like cycling along it, but the storm was just blowing them off their bikes and shit. So it was just pretending they were like falling off the track and shit. It was really funny.
God, unreal, man. No, that's unreal. Actually, funny enough, I think I sent you. Remember, did I send you that TikTok? I seen a TikTok recently, and it was just because it was kind of in relation to this.
Yeah.
But I thought it was really like, it's funny and it makes a lot of sense. But it's
really
really weird.
You sent it to me, and I was like, when you sent it to me, I felt really caught out because like 2 minutes before I'd been like looking at everyone's like they're recently active, like what they were currently listening to or what the last song they were listening to was, and I was like,
Well, to that extent, actually, I think James one day like called me listening to his like cooking playlist when I was like, and he texted me, he was like, "You listen to my cooking playlist?" And I was like, "What?"
What?
But I just seen this TikTok and I said, Spotify is 100% my favorite place to look up people. It's because you can see the choices about music, playlist names, music tastes, organization, and it's just like it's real creepy, man.
It's facts.
It's a fact.
It's fully facts.
music tells you a lot about a person, a
Oh,
whole lot about a person.
100%. Like I think a lot of people could probably get outed for having a very poor like taste in music, you know,
yeah.
they're trying to like act really cool and stuff. In fact,
Yeah.
there's I'd say, I'm embarrassed to say it, but there's a song that was in the Discover Weekly this week, which we'll get onto in a bit,
Yeah.
but it was like by like technically like an anime artist. Now, like, I'm not gonna slate anime because I love it.
I watched his first show as well.
But you know, like putting that into a playlist where it's, you know, public for like people to see and you're talking about it.
Okay, I can understand. But no, we should do a segment where we just like look up our mates like most embarrassing like Spotify playlists and just out them.
If I would be 100% down to do that, just like stalk people on Spotify, just scroll.
No, that has to be a breach of privacy in some way, like, so you know.
Hey,
we'll see.
If they have it turned on, they have it turned on. Okay, it's not our problem.
True. Yeah, it sounds like a them problem in that case now.
It does indeed. And shout out to the girl Evie, whose TikTok we just fully used for our own content.
Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah, I think a deep dive into people's like Spotify's would be a really interesting way to like find out more about, especially people, if we get an audience. That would be a shout, you know. If any of you guys have it turned on and follow our Spotify's, and just don't forget, we can listen. We can listen to what you're listening to.
Spotify review on our followers. That's,
your music taste is trash.
That's an incredible idea, but also extremely creepy and weird. And
we just drop news. Like hundreds of followers. That's just slating them.
Yeah, it's like doxing them, but for their music taste. That could be real funny. It could be really, really funny. But so I don't know. I just seen that and I kind of rang a bell because we've been talking about it a lot. And you can tell with music. I think
Spotify is just really useful. I don't want to keep harping on about Spotify because I don't want them to eventually pay a little bit of attention and be like, you guys keep talking about us, are you using our playlist? So I don't want to. We're not affiliated. If Spotify wanted to sponsor us,
go
right on ahead. I mean,
Mr. Spotify,
get that bank, you know, anything.
Come see Papa, you know. That would be an interesting
Spotify, the sugar daddy.
The sugar daddy is right. What do you want me to do? Spotify, I'm here. I'll do anything.
I'll do anything. But so I think the two of us, it sounds like we're a bit low on sleep and stuff. You only got your 3 hours sleep. I got no hours sleep on I want to say Saturday night. But it might have been Sunday night. Because I didn't sleep, all of the days are blending together. So you know how it is.
Yeah.
I had a few late ones followed by a very sick one where I'm not gonna out myself, so I'm not gonna give details. But I was out drinking till didn't get home in bed till like 5:30. Like it was a late night, and the very next night I was quite ill, and I tried moving about. I tried literally everything. I took paracetamol. I tried taking ibuprofen as well. I ended up literally pulling an all-nighter, trying to get work done then because I couldn't sleep.
So were you steaming trying to do work?
Well, it has worked in the past, okay? There's been a couple of uni projects that I may or may not have gone into. Very drunk.
I actually remember you telling me a story about going to the bar before your lecture or something.
Yeah. I had a physics practical that I had been drinking from 10:30 in the morning, and my physics practical was at 4 in the afternoon, and I had not stopped drinking between that period. So I went in slurring my words the whole time and still pulled an 80%. So this is just a promotion. If anyone wants tutored by me, I charge 20.
you don't charge money. You charge the liter bottles of Smirnoff for an hour's lecture.
You know, I have to say, I am
Christ.
like running low on the oil.
The Captain Morgans.
This is, you know, the Captain Morgans is starting to wane down. You know.
That's the
Well,
stuff.
this is the real stuff that I'll be drinking,
Yeah,
but it's just
the
a bit
water.
of dilutant.
Yeah, I get you.
But
Sick.
yeah, it was a funny night. I that night that I was up late, I'm gonna out one of the bars in my local area. So McGettigan's fire your bouncer because he's a prick.
Okay.
I went in. No, nothing against McGettigan's because I went in and I had one of the best cocktails I've ever had in my life. Genuinely, unbelievable. And I felt embarrassed ordering it. And see, as soon as I was finished, embarrassment gone because it was worth it. It was amazing. But I'd been let in, no problem. Driver's license got me in. I'm turning 20 this year. Fucking wild. The two of us can be in our 20s like by the end of the year.
Oh man,
but I went to go back in, and the fucking bouncer was like, "Sorry, do you have ID?" And I was like, because I had left to get a bit of food, and I had been eating the food in front of him because he hadn't let me in to eat it. Which I was like, fair enough. The bar serves its own food, but and I was like, mate, you just saw me leave after having let me in yourself and saw me just eat food outside. I haven't got any drunker. Nothing's changed. I'll show you my ID again if you want. So I showed him my ID and he went, "This is a driver's license." And I went, "Yes, it is." And he went, "We don't take driver licenses as IDs." And I was like, "Sorry, you don't take driver licenses
you don't take
as
the
a valid
form
of identification."
It
was like, we take Garda, which is like for those that listen from America or Canada or wherever and don't know it, that's the Irish form of the police. Garda IDs or passports. And I said to him, I was like, why would I carry my passport around with me on the night out when I have my driver's license in my wallet, which I need to pay for my drinks? And he just went, "Sorry, I got new rules 30 minutes ago, so you're not let in." Now, keep in mind that he had just let my girlfriend walk past him without any identification about 30 seconds before he stopped me. So I was like, good one, lad. So, fuck you to that bouncer. I was going to boycott McGettigan's, but then I was in literally 3 days ago having another cocktail, so I can't say anything. But
read best of the cocktails.
That was the night of the late
That's
night.
heartbreaking.
But it was heartbreaking.
That's sad. That's real sad. Actually, I'm upset for you. You can't be at that. There's not worse than it's okay. Don't cry. It's okay. There's not worse than a bad bouncer, man. I swear. I'm lucky that I've been sober for 2 years, so it's like easy to deal with them, and I'm usually the voice of reason with them. But it's like still they think they're above everything, and maybe now any bouncers listening to this here aren't going to let me into Thompson's or Limelight or anything anymore.
You're legends. Okay.
About you. You're legends and you're cool, and you know. But I just think that most of them have a superiority complex. So that's a bit there.
Normally they don't give me any problem because I know I could just like beat them up or anything if they were to stop me.
All right. Well, I think it's about time we get into the music side of things, is it?
Yeah, we've done a decent wee bit of chatting there. Do you want to take it away with your Discover Weekly? Give a wee general overview or chat about anything?
Well, compared to last week, I think last week's Discover Weekly for me was like it was real good. If you haven't listened to
off the charts.
It was class. If you haven't listened to last week's podcast, definitely do.
Check it out, because
the music and then you're trying to advertise the music.
Don't go listen to our playlist. Listen to the podcast and then
the play. Okay. Nice. But so the music and last week's one for me was incredible. So I think that's the standard that I'm going to hold my Discover Weekly to every week from now on, which is how it should be. So in comparison to that, I think that it wasn't as good. I say if we call last week's a 10, then I'll say that we're going to give this week's a 7.5.
Yeah, so
because
still respectable, but
yeah, it's still respectable. I still enjoyed it. There was a lot of fodder, as they say, in the broader FIFA community.
oh yes.
Um, absolutely, man. So there's a lot of fodder, but so a lot of songs that I wouldn't really listen to at all. But then you find a few hidden gems and stuff here and there. So
Yeah.
I was happy enough. What about you?
Um. Well, if you haven't listened to last week's podcast, spoiler, mine sucked like really badly. It was
Yeah,
awful. So mine this week I have to say was a big step up. Now, saying that, I've been listening to my Discover Weekly playlist for about a year and a bit now,
yeah,
and it by no means was it up there with the best weeks. I was able to pick a good few, and I think I probably could have made a longer list, but it would have been, seven, six
yeah,
and a half, which are still, again, very respectable scores for songs. It
yeah,
means they're still going to be in a couple of my playlists. But I decided to hold it to a bit of a higher standard this week and try and keep it to 7.5 and above.
yeah, yeah.
And it meant I was only able to choose a few songs. Now, a few songs out of 30 songs of artists you've never heard before is still good.
Mhm.
Like,
Oh,
I
absolutely, yeah,
thought the songs that I had I enjoyed, um,
yeah,
but yeah, I think another problem for me this week was hearing other music that wasn't in my Discover Weekly, that I
okay,
actually really enjoyed from other playlists or
yeah,
from
okay,
whatever. But I
I
think we
get
can
you.
talk about a couple. There's a couple of new songs I want to talk about that weren't in my Discover Weekly, but we can
Yeah,
talk about them at the end.
absolutely, yeah,
Um,
100%.
but you want to take it away with the first
Yeah,
song that you had?
of course. Yeah. So the first song I had was by this artist called Code of the Friend. I don't know if you've heard of him.
I have heard of him, but I don't know
Yeah,
enough of his music.
I reckon that you would really like him. I think
Yeah.
you would really enjoy his vibe. Code is really like a really chill back lo-fi kind of vibe, and a lot of his stuff's very similar in that respect, but it's really enjoyable. Like it doesn't get boring. And he released a new album there about a month ago, and I think this song's one of the singles on. I've been following Coda for quite a while now.
Okay.
So this is one of the singles on. It's called Pomegranate.
Okay.
So it's a nice wee tune. So it starts off with this lo-fi style beat. You know the stuff you'd hear on like TikTok, like those
Yeah.
ads you get on TikTok. Well, you're not on TikTok, right?
Nah, I don't have
But
TikTok anymore. But I mean,
but anyone,
I used to be an avid user, so
yeah,
I have it.
okay, yeah. So anyone who has ever seen those really stupid TikTok ads of like this Spotify lo-fi playlist of all these really big pop songs, like one is like "I See Fire" by Ed Sheeran. It's that kind of vibe. It comes in with just that really nice instrumental, and then with no percussion, and then there's a wee lyric or two, and then this really nice simplistic beat comes in and matches the lo-fi vibe. So this is really like it's like a really nighttimey vibe if you want to put it in that context. But really, if you ever just want to chill out or something, it's a really nice song to do. The beat really remains the same through the entire song, but then you get these wee odd bits of I want to say flair with like wee guitar or something,
Yeah.
just something that adds a bit of spice to the melody, which is really nice. We bit of synthesizers and stuff randomly, so it really works quite well in that lo-fi kind of setting. And in the song, he talks a lot about his life today, like what he's doing and how things don't seem as bad anymore, that he has a bit of money about him. But he also talks about his come up, and in that way, the way he does it, he's actually quite talented at telling stories and stuff. The way he does it, he seems really grateful for everything he's got. I think one of the lyrics is something like, he doesn't care if women don't talk back to him anymore because or don't like get in touch because he's rich, so he doesn't
Yeah.
have to like worry about it. So that's a really it's a really nice vibe to mix with that kind of lo-fi beat. And somehow I don't know, when you're talking about being rich and having status, he makes his life's problems seem really relatable,
Yeah.
which
That's
is
impressive.
it's actually quite a talent.
Yeah.
I'll give him. So I really enjoyed it. The beat really it's really the main standout part of the song. It like kind of keeps your head bobbing to the beat, and it's nice and relaxed and chilled. Definitely something if you're just zoning out. Kind of reminds me of like a summer day kind of vibe.
Very good.
So through that throughout the whole song. So Yeah, and it's part of the new album. The new album's called Lyrics to a Volume 3. I would definitely recommend checking it out.
I'm gonna have to.
100%. It has a few songs called just off the top of my head, Scapegoat, 29, Grateful. I don't know if it's on that album, but it's maybe a single. Though, like they really showcase his storytelling ability, and he's definitely an artist I would listen to. Even if you don't want to listen to that song in particular, definitely go check Code of the Friend out.
Sure, I'll definitely be doing that.
Definitely, I would highly recommend it for you.
It's always great when like songs that you know or like artists you know come out. I feel like my Discover Weekly used to do that for me so much for songs that by artists that I was listening to a lot that I maybe hadn't realized they had released or didn't feature on or featured on or whatever. But it hasn't been doing that for me as much. Although it's got this, my Discover Weekly, the first song I'm talking about is a song called Corn, and I'm going to butcher the name of the artist. His name's Znark, so I think it's Znark, or Znark, I don't know. But it's a TikTok song, and like last week I had a couple of TikTok songs, and this week I have TikTok songs. It feels like it's trying to be like, can you please just like get back on TikTok so we don't have to show you the shit anymore? But I actually have to say, when I was on TikTok, this song was semi big, and it was actually one of my favorite songs. It's the like "Lay Your Head on My Pillow," and it's like you'll know it if you listen to it.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like got a really funky and like groovy like bass line to it. So like the whole way through, I had already heard it obviously from TikTok, so I was like singing along to the chorus and the stuff, and but my head swaying the whole way through. I have to say his voice, like the runs he was doing throughout were really, really good. I think he's a very talented singer. I thought, obviously, like I said, the bass line was really funky and really groovy. If he can keep that up, I could see him doing quite well for himself because it worked. The two of them worked really well together. They're very complimentary. And I also thought the song was just really well produced. Like it wasn't like like the voice was overbearing or the melody was too strong. You could still hear the drums throughout it, but they weren't too loud. It wasn't like cracking in your ear. So I ended up giving it an 8 out of 10, and I put it into my iTunes, and I was glad it had come into my Discover Weekly purely because I liked that song when I was on TikTok, but I never would have guessed the name of it, and I never would have known the artist. So I'm glad it came up. I don't think it was a phenomenal song. It didn't have me dancing on the floor or anything, but it was still a really good song, and I would definitely listen to it again. So 8 out of 10, I think it's pretty respectable, and it has a phenomenal ending to it. I think his song at the end is really, really good. As it just fades out, it's really cool.
So is the vocals the main part of that song?
100%. They carried as well as the bass, but
I get you, man. That sounds sick. But even when you mentioned that you've heard it before, even when my Discover Weekly, I think I got a lot of stuff this week. The three main ones I want to talk about today are from artists that I'm either a big fan of or I know very well.
Yeah.
Which is like, have I not heard these songs before? But so I get what you mean. So my second one is called Thames by Nux. Now Nux he's kind of, I would view him as leading the underground UK scene. Actually, to the point where I don't know if I would call him underground anymore.
Okay.
I've listened to him for quite a while, and I think that he's absolutely brilliant. And with Nux especially, for me, his main thing is you can just feel emotion throughout his songs, even when they're not trying to be emotional. So he's kind of like a UK underground drill rapper. His beats are really different to all the mainstream stuff like Dave, where Dave's kind of hard hitting beats, or like slowed down like Stratum style beats, or obviously like Stormzy, like really grimy stuff. Nux has this weird like foreign, I wouldn't say like classy or jazzy vibe to it. It's so hard to explain without listening to it. So I definitely recommend. There's a few songs like Home by Nux, an incredible song. It's so emotional. It really like captures his storytelling ability, and it's all about knife crime in London, and you can tell like you can tell he's coming from a spot where he's seen it, and
Yeah.
you can feel the emotion in the past events he's talking about. It's brilliant, and it showcases his beats as well really well. Breakfast and Tiffany's, I remember that song for the rest of my life. Me and my friend David just like driving about in summer listening to that song. Incredible song, really nice hook to it, really nice beat. There's a really cool, like really funny Kanye West or bar in it, and in the hook. Los Pueblos. It's so hard to say. Los Pueblos Hermanos, I think it's
Okay.
called. It's a really cool, like Mexican Spanish style song. But for example, those are just examples of how he uses really cool beats and really nice storytelling.
Okay.
So this song, so Thames, the beat, it's that kind of beat that gives you like a really big smirk on your face. You're like, oh, really, really nice. It's kind of a wee bit grimy.
Okay.
It gives me big, like menace energy vibes. Yeah, I mean, like I could go and just cause havoc
Yeah.
in the streets of Newcastle, for example. So it's cool, and it's the kind of like I don't give a fuck mindset with bars like if I ever did you dirty, yeah, I meant to. So
Oh,
it's just like
damn.
straight
Okay.
up. I
Yeah.
don't
Yeah.
care. It's real cool. And like so, and the beat works really well with that. It's just a nice infectious wee beat. Get the head bobbing to it. You know you actually quite like it as well.
Okay.
And it's a very the and like the percussion instrumental, the drums, Winox especially, it's kind of like a common UK type instrumental beat. Just the stuff you would hear on most grime or drill artists,
Yeah.
which is not a complaint at all. It's actually half the reason I listen to that kind of music.
Yeah.
But then he adds that signature classy vibe to it. I don't even know how to describe it, but he adds stuff like guitars and horns and some nice backing vocals and stuff that are chopped, and it just really sets a really nice scene for this song. And it went straight into my UK playlist. I won't lie, I was a big fan of it.
Okay.
Yeah,
Well, it sounds
big
like that was
fan.
a bit of a banger, you know.
It
You,
is.
you know, in a song when
I
you're listening to it and you're smiling,
yeah.
you know, you've got a
You
good
get a
song in your
feeling from
hands,
a
like.
song. It's golden. It goes straight in the playlist.
Oh,
It was brilliant.
100%.
Yeah.
My next song, it's I see. I had a couple of songs, and I don't want it to be a case of there's a few songs that I have written down here were TikTok songs. Like again, like I
Okay.
said, that first one, "Corn" by
Yeah.
Janark or whatever his name was.
Yeah. Yeah.
TikTok song. Had another one that I don't know where it's from, but I already knew it. I had another really
Mhm.
popular TikTok song, but the one I want to speak about first is this one called 27s by Your Neighbors.
Okay.
I actually really like this one. It was weird though because I really liked it, but I wish they had have spent more time on it before they released it because I felt like the production let it down a bit, and I think had it been
Okay.
produced a little bit better, it would have been a really good up there with some of my favorites from Discover Weekly.
Yeah.
That being said, it was still a good song. Like I clearly have a type of song that I'm enjoying at the minute that Spotify
Yeah.
just trying to
Yeah.
shove down my throat, which is that like villainous
Yeah.
type beat, you know, like burn the
Oh,
whole
okay.
world down sort of shit.
Jeez, Roy's on his menace face.
Well, that's what I mean. Like it sort of seems like it. That's all what I'm getting.
Yeah.
I think like the thing with the song was I liked all of its individual elements. Like I liked the drums, I liked the vocals, I really liked the like. I don't even know how to describe the like melody of it, but I really liked the effects that they put on the vocals. I really liked each of the individual
Mhm.
elements, and I think had it been produced better, it would have
Okay.
went really well together. But it just works well together, and they did a good job at
Oh,
merging
okay.
them. It's
Okay.
just it could have
Yeah.
been a wee bit better.
That's a good way
Um,
to describe it.
but the thing, like the fact that each element was so good makes me want to check out more by your neighbors. So I think I will, and
Okay,
if
cool.
I find anything of interest, I'll try and report back on it next week. But
Definitely. Yeah.
for now, I give it a 7.5 out of 10, which again I think is very respectable. I think it's really good. It's going in my Broader Horizons playlist, and I am going to put it in my. I don't know what playlist to put it in, so right now I'm just going to put it in Broader Horizons. But I think
Okay.
based on the fact that Spotify's like, we know that you want to be the villain in your story, all right?
Yeah.
We know you want to be like, fuck the
Stop
haters, fuck
pretending.
the
Stop
world, okay?
pretending. Yeah.
So I guess I'm gonna
I
have
got
to
you.
create a playlist for
Yeah.
that. But yeah,
I got you.
I'm definitely gonna check out more. 7.5 out of 10. I think it's
Cool.
a respectable
Yeah.
song. But yeah,
Sick.
it was up there
Yeah.
with one of the best ones on
Yeah.
this week's.
Cool. I feel like that Menace vibe is like it's so underrated. I
It's
love it.
so good.
Yeah. See when you're in it and you're like fully flowing in it, it's just you don't care about anything. You're just
100%. You're like,
zoned in.
this
It's sick.
song makes me feel like I am a
Yeah.
god, but not in a
Yeah.
good way.
Yeah.
Like everyone else
Oh,
has to bow
absolutely.
down to me out of
Yeah.
fear of how powerful I am right now.
Yeah. I think I actually have a field playlist that was made for that. When I say a field playlist, I just mean that it's like a playlist that I started making, but it never took shape.
Yeah.
But it was like I had stuff like I hear this here, "Hot" by Gunna or "Hot" by Young Thug featuring Travis Scott and Gunna. Unreal song when the Travis Scott verse drops. You just feel like you can just run the world really. Just stuff like No Bystanders, Travis Scott, Rick Fair Drop by Metro Boomin and Offset, stuff like that.
Yeah.
That really gets me that man's vibe. Actually, we bit of this actually fades in really nicely with mine. So Tyler the Creator in certain now Tyler is for all our visual viewers on YouTube. I'm going to show you. Tyler is one of my main vinyls on the wall.
The vinyl on the wall, the framed vinyl.
Obviously, Dave has to be there. Dave's sick.
Obviously.
And then we got Dre and
Travi and yeah.
stuff. Yeah. And I love the way that most of our listeners come from Spotify and they're not going to understand.
Yeah, everyone's going to be like, what are they talking about? Although saying that, please check out our YouTube channel because if we keep checking out our YouTube channel, we'll be able to monetize it faster. So we're almost at the watch hour. So just keep watching the videos and keep subscribing because we need some numbers. Subscribers. So please watch our YouTube videos. Even if you've already listened to the podcast on Spotify, please listen on YouTube and watch along because then you get to meet us face to face and see how attractive we are. Sorry, that was a bit of a rant. Continue.
Speak for yourself, bro. But so Tyler, I'm a big Tyler fan. I think he's absolutely brilliant, and he has a lot of stuff that really matches that Menace vibe. A lot of his early stuff matches that his work from Goblin and Wolf, although it's not that polished and it's not that. A lot of people would look at it as not that good. You know, it really is a Menace vibe, and then even in his new stuff, for the ones that come to mind are New Magic Wand. I think it's an Igor.
I was gonna say that's Igor.
And that album, it's a very good song. There's one in Flower Boy, but I can't remember what it's called. I don't know. I'll remember it randomly, and I won't blur it out in the middle of the conversation. But
hey,
yeah,
we take that.
These things have to be done. But so I'm a big fan of Tyler, but I'm mainly a big fan of his more vibey stuff. My favorite Tyler album would be Flower Boy.
Yeah, I really like Flower Boy.
It's an incredible album. And opposed to like Igor and his new album as well, Call Me If You Get Lost. But the songs like Boredom featuring Rex Orange County and 911 and stuff, they just resonate with me. It's just the feeling you get from those songs is incredible. So this song, this is called She by Tyler the Creator. This is from Goblin, which is his earlier work. And it's to an extent it is a different Tyler the Creator. A Tyler that you only kind of see in certain songs, like New Magic Wand, for example.
Okay.
And but I like it. You know, it's cool. I think it's probably one of the more from what I hear. I'm not really an expert in all his older stuff like Cherry Bomb and stuff, but from what I hear, this is probably some of his best work from his early days.
Yeah.
And it's helped by the massive feature of Frank Ocean. I
Goated artist as
well. I'm actually not that familiar with him. I never really got into him.
I got into him when he started becoming popular, and I only say he's a good artist because he has genuinely phenomenal vocals. I love his voice. I think it's so smooth. But I mean that's just again personal thing. I think
absolutely.
A lot of artists are like that. Yeah.
I will give him he has amazing vocals, but I just never really tried to get into him. But I'm sure if I did, I would easily do it. And I know there's stuff about A$AP Rocky talking about how he finessed the entire record industry at one stage at like $20 million or something, which is class. But
damn,
it's mad. But yeah, so a lot of Tyler's early stuff were classified as more like the best way to put it is like dark or like grimy or like edgy type beats.
Okay.
This is very much the case. but in opposed to where in like Cherry Bomb and stuff, where it's like you can't really listen to it because it's so like poorly done. This is actually nice, and as we were saying, Frank Ocean's amazing vocals, which are kind of like I don't want to say like heavenly vocals, but
Yeah,
know
they're
you know what I
so
mean, like
smooth and
yeah,
soft.
like
Like
the
it's
weekend
yeah,
kind of stuff. It matches the contrast so well, and it is that contrast is probably one of the main parts of it actually get me back to listen to that song. Frank has
okay.
this, he just has this hook that he sings, and it's so nice. And then Tyler's rapping is, it is just Tyler the Creator's
It's
rapping. It's
Tyler the
just
Creator.
kind of offbeat, weird flow, but class, and
Yeah.
just really like hard. And the storytelling in this, it really struck me as well. It's kind of reminiscent of, I don't know how familiar you are with Igor the album. Like, have you listened to it
I
through?
listened through it all,
Yeah,
but I only listened once or
yeah.
twice. I
I get
sort of
you.
picked out my favorite
Well,
songs from it.
yeah, I get you. Well, Igor the album is, it's like a big story.
Mm-hmm.
And it starts. It's all about falling in love and the problems with that. And for example, Igor, like the last song is called "Are We or Can We Be Friends?" And it's just him saying like, "Can we be friends?" Like a bunch. So it's like that kind of story, but in the one song, which
Yeah,
is really it's really cool. And Tyler, that is just the vibe he goes through all the time, but I love it.
yeah,
And a lot of people don't really like Tyler actually, which surprises me because I think a lot of
yeah.
people just give him the stigma of he's a weirdo who produced Goblin and Cherry Bomb and stuff. But a
Yeah,
lot of his stuff's
I
really
sort of
good.
feel that as well. Like a lot of people that like I've spoken to with Tyler sort of don't like him without really having listened to him too much. Or
Yeah, it's just easy to say I don't like Tyler the Creator.
yeah, so
Yeah,
I
so
don't know what
that's
that's about. I don't really. I
yeah,
obviously I haven't followed him in depth. I
yeah,
just like a
yeah.
few of his songs, like, and I think he's a good
Yeah, I get
artist.
you.
But I still think it's unjustified to just hate an artist
Yeah.
for no reason,
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
unless there is
Well,
a reason. I don't
it's
know, but
yeah,
like
yeah, yeah. We're looking at you, Michael Jackson, and
Michael Jackson.
all the man. Michael Jackson. But but yeah, so Tyler's rap style in this is just the usual. I would call it lazy.
Yeah,
It's just like, but it's not. It's on purpose, and it
yeah,
works so well. And I could just be an idiot, and he could just be so lazy in the studio, just be like, just
yeah. Just
like
lying back on the
lackadaisically,
chair,
just
just
yeah,
spitting bars.
just
But I think
yeah,
some of the rap songs that are like that, I think are some of the best. Where it sounds like
yeah.
they're not even trying, and they're just spitting these bars
Mm-hmm.
that like they're not obviously spitting, they're more just speaking. They're like
Yeah, they just yeah. Tyler's big for that. ASAP for to an extent is kind of
yeah,
good
yeah,
for
yeah,
that. Well, I suppose you're kind of seeing that coming from that rap group, but yeah, no, that's cool. But so it's a nice contrast of dark and the heavenly style vocals of the likes of Frank Ocean and the lazy rap, and again, you get something so some Frank Ocean's vocals that are so well done and so like really tried to give a really nice example in this beat, a really nice sample, and then just Tyler's just lazy and just going like spend a few bars, and then this really beautiful hook takes over, and then it's just grinding Tyler the Creator again. So but I actually really enjoyed it.
yeah.
I would definitely listen to it again. It's going to go into my main playlist.
For sure. Okay. Well, I'm definitely
Yeah,
gonna have to check it out. I haven't heard that Tyler song, so
yeah,
definitely gonna have to check it out.
definitely do.
There's
Yeah,
um, speaking of like artists that like we know, I'm gonna
yeah,
bring up an artist that this song nothing to do with him, but I want to bring him up
okay.
because I have been recently watching Euphoria, and a lot of people. I'm
Oh,
way behind the trend. I just finished season one,
yeah.
so
I haven't even watched it. What's it like?
really good. I mean, I'm saying really good, but it's because I was focusing so heavily on the music. Like the music in
Okay, yeah.
that show is amazing. Like all
Okay,
credits
cool.
to Labyrinth. He is phenomenal. I
Sick.
haven't heard of
Yeah.
Labyrinth in years, and his just all songs hit perfectly. They
Sick.
were the right mood. Like they were perfect
Okay.
for the setting in the show. It really captured what was happening in that
Yeah.
scene, and I thought it was proper. Loads of the songs and it gave me chills.
Yeah.
But a lot of
Cool.
people that what like are listening have probably seen Euphoria, are probably up to date with Euphoria, and know that in
I'm still
season
weirdo.
2, Dominic Fike joins, and I don't know.
Seen that?
Yeah,
I have seen that.
Dominic Fike. I love Dominic Fike. I have listened to Dominic
Yeah,
Fike for a
he's got
hot
some good
minute
stuff.
beforehand. He makes some good
Some really good
songs,
stuff.
and I'm bringing this up because I wanted to talk about some of the songs from Euphoria later on once we're done our Discover Weekly.
Yeah.
But I also wanted to bring up this because the song I'm going to talk about next is called "Lies" by Cancel Culture. Cancel Culture, Masked Man, Kiaru, Damien Burbank, Maru, Garrett, and Nico Hori. Right?
Okay.
Clearly a massive collaboration, but
big cast.
it gave me. I don't know if you've ever heard "Phone Number" by Dominic Fike. Banging tune, really, really, really good song.
Unbelievable song, incredible song.
This gave me such big Phone Number vibes, like it.
Oh,
the bass of it, the
okay.
way he's like rapping, like not like rapping. You know what Dominic Fike's like, but you know, like not singing, but like rap singing almost, like on the beat for the chorus. Really, really sounds like super similar. Really enjoyed it. I just thought the bass the whole way through the song, like it was really evident, really funky, really like. And there's this like soft electric guitar being played like every now and then, just doing its own wee riff and stuff. It sounds really cool. Fully makes the song, like those two things. I love the vocals, as I said. It gives me really big Dominic Fike vibes. But for all of you that like Dominic Fike or have been watching Euphoria or anything, check out Lies. I don't know obviously which of the artists it was that did the vocals. I don't know which one did what bit. Like there's so many artists on that. But check out the song and see for yourself, because I really think if you like Dominic Fike, you'll like this song.
Okay.
I think I give it a 7 out of 10. I think it's sadly I do think it's Dominic Fike but worse. But I mean, Dominic Fike's a fucking platinum selling artist, probably.
Yeah, but Phone Numbers by Dominic Fike is one of the most influential FIFA tunes of all time. Like, you know what I mean?
It's so good. But that's what I mean. Obviously, no song is gonna live up to that when it's not trying to be, you know, but sounds similar.
Yeah.
So the fact that it did it to like this extent and still did it well, I think was really good. Like, I mean, there's been songs in my Discover Weekly which are just off rip, straight up just a cover, or a cover with the lyrics changed, so it's a Christian song and shit like that. I remember, I don't know if you've ever heard Drugs. Like I just came into the party for the drugs.
Oh,
drugs,
yes, I think I have.
Last week, I didn't want to bring it up because I didn't want to slate the artist. I don't remember the artist, but there's a song called Dogs, and it was literally just drugs, but they changed any mention of alcohol or drugs or anything Christian. They changed it to talking about dogs, basically, and it was embarrassing to listen to. I hated it with a passion. So the fact that they did a song that was so similar to an already great song, and they did it so well, I had to just include it. So 7 out of 10. I put it in my Broader Horizons. So for all of you that want to listen to it, it's in there. It'll be in our playlist that's combined together. But yeah, I think that's the last one I'll speak about in depth. But
that's our big top 3 done anyway.
Yeah, but obviously, if you want to fire out any more names, I have a couple.
I have a few names, but I'm not going to really get into depth with them because I don't think not that they don't deserve it. It's just
hard to speak about them.
Thrilling, But first we got "Thrill" by French the Kid. I don't know, like I feel like TikTok. I feel like Spotify now is just completely playing into the fact that I think I'm from London, the hoods with these tunes. But so "Thrill" by French Kid, very UK instrumental beat, and it's just the percussion side of it, very UK classic stuff. Quite similar to the other stuff I'm talking about by Nux. But then the instrumentals, this really amazing violin, which is really weird on a UK. I don't think I've actually heard anything like that on a UK track. And I could just be an idiot and saying that, but I don't really remember any violins being on a UK track. And then you kind of part with this really beautiful piano melody, which is really nice. Ooh. So it's cool. And the name French the Kid kind of, you think it might get a wee bit of a French bar or something here, and you do. which I was
Oh,
really pleasantly surprised at. There was just like a wee
okay.
French verse at the end, but it was really nice. Really, really fit the song well. It fit the instrumental quite well actually. So it was very welcomed, and similar to a lot of UK stuff, a lot of drill stuff. It was talking about the lyrics were talking about fighting the ops on the block or whatever, just classic.
Typical
And
UK.
then yeah,
Yeah.
very typical UK. And then the next one is Maddie by Dreama, but it's spelled Dreema.
Okay.
And Kish exclamation mark Kish exclamation mark. Another nice UK song, but slightly slower than anything I've really ever talked about on here.
Okay.
The beat it gets the head bobbing really well. The instrumental is really nice as well. I can't lie. But it's so hard to describe. I definitely recommend going and listening to it.
Sounds good.
But it's a vibe. If you get me, it's not really a drill song.
Yeah, it's
I would kind of put it more into like a after hours
okay.
type playlist. So you are just popping your head, and the storytelling in the song kind of stood out. It's all about a girl that he's met and how his relationship builds with her. So it's nice. It's a nice song. Not a lot to talk about with it though. It's not really special. I feel like it's kind of just fodder for a playlist.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say that it's anything more than a 6 or 7 out of 10. But there's the two artists bounce off each other well.
Okay.
I must admit, but that's really the only noteworthy thing about it.
Very good. Well,
So
mine's there. I have a couple more to throw out. My first one's called Kodak by Pat. I don't know
yeah,
how, but I've heard it before. I was literally like, first it came on straight away, and I was singing every lyric. I already knew
yeah,
it, and it's kind of like it reminded me of something I knew, but even when I was writing my notes, couldn't put my tongue on it, but it was like I couldn't put my finger on it. Sorry.
yeah.
Like it just felt really familiar. I thought it was like it the whole song's like very like reminiscent. It like it's talking about like wishing we could go back and looking through the Kodaks and stuff and
Okay,
looking
cool.
at Polaroid pictures and stuff. And I thought that
Oh,
was
cool. Yeah.
really good. It's really good. Like
Sick.
I said the way I phrased it was I give it like decent rating. I give it 7.5 out of 10. Liked
Yeah.
it, but nothing was brilliant enough for me to love it.
Yeah.
And I would
Right.
listen to it maybe if I was like in a melancholy mood and wanted to flip it into some type of like fond remembrance or something like that.
Sick.
I think
Yeah. Yeah.
it has a certain level of replayability for depending on the mood. The
Cool.
other song, another one of the songs is Sugar Rush by Asian Hideout. Now, I
Okay.
mentioned this before. This is for like just disclaimer. This is an anime song, 100%. It's not
Mm.
actually an anime song. No reference to anime. The art of the cover art of the song is anime like based. It sounds very like not like techno, but like it's heavily like synthesized and stuff like that. But I thought it was quite catchy. I thought the singing in it was really good, and there's two artists, a
Yeah.
boy and a girl, and they're bouncing off each other really well, like you said in your last
Sick.
song.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I thought it was just a decent song. I didn't rate it or anything. I didn't really think it was too much in depth that I want to go into it, but I thought it was all right, worth mentioning. And the last song is a song that I'm sure everybody knows if you have TikTok. It's called Electric Love by Bjorns or Borns. I don't know
Oh,
how to
brilliant.
pronounce it.
Brilliant song.
I think it's got really cool drums, very like
Yeah.
incredible vocals. Fully see
Funky.
why it blew up on TikTok. I thought it was really catchy. Just like that climax of like the electric and
Yeah. Yeah. It
everything
was
just coming together.
it was Sweden's Eurovision song, wasn't it?
I
A few years
think
back.
so. I think it
Yeah.
was, and I think that's what
Yeah.
helped people hear it. But
Yeah.
I can fully see why it blew up because it's a really
Brilliant song.
catchy song.
Yeah.
But the only reason I'm mentioning it is because I think a lot of people think of it as a TikTok song, and I don't
Yeah, I
think
do.
it deserves to be seen as just that. I think it stands
Yeah.
well as its own
Mhm.
song, well enough that
Yeah.
I thought it deserves to be mentioned as just a good song. So definitely
Yeah.
go and check that out if you haven't heard it. I'm sure you'll recognize it whenever you start listening to it. But yeah, 7.5 out of 10. I thought it was pretty decent.
Very, very good. So half
That's-
successful Discover Weeklies this week anyway.
Yeah, I think it was like semi decent Discover Weeklies, but I wanted to finish out the podcast talking about other music that's been released
Okay.
because last week we
Okay,
said we were
yeah.
gonna talk about the new Silk Sonic song. We said we
We
were gonna
did.
talk about
Love's Train.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I want to hear your opinion before I say anything. So
Yeah.
what did you think of it?
Okay. I liked it. I really liked it.
Okay.
I've mentioned, I think on every single episode of this podcast, I've mentioned that I'm a big fan of Silk Sonic. I
Not
really
my
like
heart.
it. They do. Anderson Paak has only come into my life, but I love him. I'm attached. He's such
Malibu,
a
what? Oh my god, Malibu's
oh
just.
man,
If you haven't listened to
that
Malibu by Anderson .Paak, go
brilliant
listen to it.
song. But one of my favorites is probably what is it? It's Q-Tips or something. No, it's featuring Q-Tips. Can't remember what the song's called. But he says, people catching TKOs on occasion. And that bar has just, I just love it. Every time I hear it, it hits me. But Anderson, his ability on the drum kit, man, is ridiculous. It's ridiculous. It's so good. So love shit. Brilliant song. The intro's cool.
Yeah.
Is the 1, 2, and then Bruno Mars vocals, as per usual, heavenly. I don't care what people think. Bruno Mars is he's just a gem of a human being.
100%.
He's brilliant. The song, I don't know if I mentioned the podcast. I definitely mentioned to you before. I mentioned to a lot of my friends is that like I based my entire personality off the an evening with Silk Sonic for like 2 months, and I'm just sitting here listening
So
to
did
Love
I.
Train, and I'm like, I should go back into this personality real quick.
For like
Yeah.
I did on the drive down to from like up home down to Galway when
Yeah.
I'm going to uni. I like for a bit I was like going through different playlists, and I remember I just put it on, and even in my Silk Sonic just listen to it.
Yeah.
It's like me and Evie in the car, like 1, 2, make you wanna just singing along with all of
I deserve to
to
be.
be
Sick.
something.
Yeah, such a good
Tune.
song. But they really influenced me to like. I have this playlist. It's called A Touch of Class, and that's a really good way to describe it. But the description is funky tones with a hint of fuckboy,
Yeah,
and
okay.
that is now my personality for the next foreseeable future. Probably I would say all of summer. But this playlist kind of died out for me a wee bit, and then Love Train dropped. And I'm like, nah, hold on.
Pulls you back in.
This is where I need to stay. And that's what how good the song was.
Yeah.
That's what it has done for my music taste. So what do you think? What's your
I agree to an extent. I thought it was a brilliant song. I'm gonna start off by saying in my opinion, it wasn't their best song. I think they have better songs.
Yeah.
Just off rip. But absolutely. Saying that, even their worst song is fucking amazing.
It's brilliant. Yeah.
So I listened through it the first time. I was like, yeah, it's pretty good. But I am going to listen to it again. To it again. I was like, okay, yeah, no, it's definitely, like sticking in my head. I'm going to listen to it again, listen to it again. And by like the third or fourth time, I was just singing along to it the whole time. I thought it was a really catchy song.
Yeah.
And I agree fully. It feels like so classy, but like obviously they're having fun with it, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like
they're having so much, and it's so obvious to see they're having fun with it.
100%. The music videos and everything, like even the music video for Skate, I love the music video for Skate.
Incredible
I think
song.
It's brilliant. Where they're just like hitting on the, I want to see bongos, but I know they're not bongos. I know they're called something else. I saw all the comments about that in the video, but the little drums that they're, it's like, I'm not even gonna try, but they're just playing along, and you can see them smiling in the video and like feeling the music with their bodies. I think just them collectively as a group it's
such an amazing mix.
Yeah, it's
so actually I actually have the album up right now, and you know the way when you have like a song in a playlist or it's like downloaded, it has to be like every single song of the album has that wee green arrow. I'm not going to lie to you. After last night, incredible. Smoking out the window, incredible. Leave the door open, incredible. Silk Sonic, the intro to the album is class. It's really
I love the intro as well. It goes.
It's class, but I've started my like playlist to be like aux on like parties or afters or pre's.
Yeah.
Just because I hate everyone else's pre music, and I think that mine's superior.
Agreed. Because they're bad.
Because they're all. I don't want to listen to either 2010 hits or really bad techno.
Yeah, definitely not the really bad techno. At least 2010 hits you can sing along, but play something good.
Yeah, exactly. I don't want to listen to that. So I found that the Silk Sonic intro You know, I assume you have on Spotify set up that it like crossfades into songs.
100%.
So like,
Yeah. If,
see if you set it up with a 3 second crossfade Silk Sonic intro into California Love by Tupac. It
okay.
is the most ridiculous like start to it, like a pre-playlist that I've ever created, and I will stand by that. If I am
Wow.
on aux on anything, I'll play this and I will get a reaction. I'll play it for you after. It's incredible. And
Okay,
when I use
sick.
that song, and it's just a wee intro.
The only other thing I want to ask about is I only became aware of the new. I'm trying to remember who the other artist is. It's Kanye West, Alicia Keys, City of Gods. Who's the other artist on it?
Oh, 504 now.
Yeah, I only
Yeah,
listened to it
yeah. What do you
over the
think?
weekend. I quite liked it. I'm not.
Yeah,
I thought
it's
it was
cool.
decent.
It's a good song.
I thought it was all right, but I have to say we were talking before the podcast about Donda 2, the potential
We
for it.
were, we were. It
And
is confirmed to
it
be on the
made me
album.
very excited. I don't know if you've seen
Yeah.
Genius, like the new Netflix documentary on Kanye's
I
life.
I watched a wee bit of it, but I was really tired and I couldn't focus on it. I was like,
It's incredible. The
oh,
first episode's
serious?
out, incredible. I was watching it
Okay,
being
I'm on it.
like watching Kanye grow up,
Yeah,
being like, I'm gonna make it, but nobody like
it's
having
mad.
faith, and like Jay-Z and shit being like, yo, he makes
Yeah,
sick beats, but then not
yeah,
signing him to the record whenever he was like trying to become. I was like, this is mad,
yeah.
and so I'm
It's
excited for it. But seeing that,
it's
listening to
incredible.
City of Gods,
Yeah,
I'm buzzing for Donna too.
as
Um,
excited. But there's the big thing for me about Donald 2 is Future's involvement in it.
mm-hmm.
He's executive producing it, and we all know Future's vibe. We'll say we all know what he's about.
Yeah.
Um, she belongs to the streets, etc., etc., etc. But there's this one bar in one of the songs. I'm gonna try to find the name of it. It's actually on his Instagram. But one of the songs he kind of teased with the stem player thing, which I'll talk about after. But it's something like fuck flowers, send 100,000. Just being an absolute menace. I'm so excited for that. It's just a new side of Kanye. He's
Yeah.
off the meds. He's off the meds. It's gonna be incredible, man. But the song's called I don't know what the song's called.
Well, if you want
Uh,
to find it, I'll keep talking because I wanted to
yes, yeah,
speak
perfect.
about
Yeah.
for anyone listening. We were before the podcast, we were talking about how like the two of us are big Kanye West fans, like love all of Kanye's stuff. And I think Donda, and I know you think Donda was an absolute
Yeah.
banging album. It was
Well, I agree that I think that the highs of Donda was absolutely incredible.
ridiculous. Yeah.
Yeah, but I think it suffered from so much just like fatigue of songs that didn't need to be involved.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I have two issues with Donda. It's that, and also that we didn't get the original Pure Souls piano melody at some stage. But that's just me being me.
Yeah.
It's the
But
best way to put it.
what we were talking about beforehand is should Donda 2 drop before next week, we may do a separate podcast where instead of our Discover Weekly, we do a deep dive into the new album and do an album review. Obviously, with copyright and stuff, we can't put clips of the songs in, but it's Kanye West. You're gonna go out and listen to the album yourself. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
And so you can let us know what you think, your own opinions of the new album. You can let us know what you think of our opinions.
Get in touch.
I think it'll be fun because I know it's something I'm going to be listening to anyway. So why not listen to it with a friend that we can do commentary over it? Well,
Exactly. Yeah.
I think obviously we can't do like a listening party or something because it would involve the audio, but I'm
Yeah.
sure we can work out something that we can listen
Absolutely,
to
yeah.
and discuss our
Yeah.
opinions on it together.
That'd be good. Yeah.
I do think that would be fun. So if
Be real
anyone's
fun.
interested, we'll
Yeah.
be doing it. If it comes
Yeah,
out,
anyway,
we'll speak
yeah.
about it more. But
Of
yeah,
course,
I think that's a good try. Did you find what that song was? Or?
yeah. I think it's Get Lost. I
Okay.
think, but he did have an Instagram post up naming the track, but knowing Kanye the way he has posted about 100% deletes them all on the same day, it's like I can't really
Yeah.
find it. And can we just say his Instagram feed for the past week has been absolutely hilarious. I don't know if you've seen it, have you?
No, I haven't. But Kanye West's just feed on social media is in general Twitter
it's-
feed anything ridiculous.
It is priceless. And it was one stage he was just. I think I seen a poster of like his face photoshopped into like Venom, the Venom symbiote, and then Pete Davidson's face in the Carnage symbiote, and then all his Instagram posts would be like in uppercase, like all uppercase, like lettering, and then he posted one thing that was like him standing, a really cool photo of him standing on stage, in the concert with him and Drake,
Yeah.
and then it was just like a really deep like paragraph about how he's not going to use all uppercase anymore because it comes off that he's like being really aggressive and he's learning and he's got a PR management team and he's understanding that the way he types will be noticed in different ways. And then like 20 minutes later, he just said like fucking all caps are back for people who are all cap. It's just brilliant. He's an incredible human being. I feel so sorry for him, but he's just so funny.
Yeah,
he's so funny to watch.
But it's absolutely insane. That's just to bring up Genius again. If you haven't watched it and you're interested at all in music, watch it because it's a 3-part trilogy. It's a 3-part documentary, but it's coming out one part a week. So the first bit's the only bit that's out, but it's so interesting to see what he was like at a younger age compared to now. Like even the first bit of the documentary starts off at the end, like the most recent clip where he's like, yo, we're running for president and whatever, and then cutting from the end straight back to like the first like clip where Cody who's the guy who's filming starts filming him, where he's like, yo, I made it from Chi-Town boys, I'm the first one to do it and all this, and he's like so happy and he's genuinely just seems so proud of himself. It's so strange seeing that contrast of like probably one of the biggest producers / technically artists of all time.
Absolutely, like, artists,
full 100% self-confident. Why wouldn't you be? To back when he was like trying to be like, I will be good, I will be, just have faith in me. It's
the fact that he had the confidence to hire someone or like get someone to follow him around with a camera when he was absolutely nothing.
Mate, they started making this documentary. When you watch it, it's ridiculous. Cody's like, I'm gonna just up and leave my job to follow this guy because I know he's gonna be famous.
That's mad.
He moved to New York just follow him.
With an ego problem, and they just follow him about for like all day with a camera.
It's mad, and it's so strange. Like seeing like obviously he's recording Kanye West and Jay-Z will walk into the studio, and he doesn't like he'll pan to show that Jay-Z walked in, then just go back to Kanye, and like this is a time where Jay-Z was blowing the fuck up, and Kanye was like Kanye. This was when Kanye had made like one beat for Jay-Z and had started making beats for other artists, but hadn't even released the song yet. Nobody knew who Kanye was except for as being the producer on tracks and like the beat maker and melody maker shit like that. Nobody knew him. And this cameraman's just like, Cody's just like, no, Jay-Z, he's going to be a bigger superstar than him. It's mad.
Kanye's incredible. But just what he's done. I used to, you ask any of my mates, I used to like hate, I never liked Kanye. I'll be straight up. I never liked him. I used to think he was completely overrated. He wasn't good. And then this was like last February time, right? This time last year. And then cut to November of this year when Spotify Rap comes out. And I'm the top 0.05% of Kanye West listeners of the year. You know, it's I think he's just an absolute. I wouldn't say inspiration. If any child takes inspiration from, you know, it's a very dangerous path.
Yeah,
unless you're actually talented to that extent. But I think he's incredible. But I always, even when I disliked him. The only thing I could say was I think he's an incredible producer. Yeah, I thought he was his beats incredible. Everything sick. Like even like Watch the Throne, just stuff that comes to mind. Otis, that beat is incredible. What's that one? There's a king to a god. What's a mile to a king? What's the king to a god? Yeah, what's that?
I don't know what it's called.
Oh, I can't remember. But no, just those beats are incredible, man.
That's like even seeing I just one other thing. The last thing I want to mention, because I can see that we've already gone over an hour, but the last thing I want to mention is that's what's called. Church of the Wild. That's what it is. You're right. No Church of the Wild. Yeah. But yeah, the last thing I want to mention from Genius is you can see like Jesus Walks being made, and
Oh, right. Incredible song.
like Family, and what's the other one? What's the other really like big song from
Uh,
Graduation?
I know from early Kanye, like All Falls Down, all that
When it
stuff.
all falls down.
Yeah,
That's it. Like you can hear him making the beat and asking other people to do like their thing over it, because like at this point he hadn't been signed, he
yeah,
wasn't rapping. He wanted to be a rapper, but no one was signing him. So like it
yeah,
shows a clip of him like bringing in like Family or Broken Family, what I can't remember what it's called, and like bringing in Jesus Walks to Jay-Z's studio
yeah,
and being like, "Yo, do you want to do a bit over this and stuff?" And like it's mad
yeah.
seeing it, because you're like, now they're like huge Kanye West
Big
songs that
songs.
like
All Fall Down is one of his best songs, if not the
100%,
best.
hundred
Yeah,
percent,
incredible
and that's
song.
what blew him up,
Yeah,
which is what I
yeah,
can't wait to see in the next episode. But yeah, that's
yeah.
all I
Absolutely,
wanted
man.
to say for this
Yeah.
week anyway. Dawn to Two coming
Us
up,
Kanye
hopefully.
fanboys
Oh my
we
God,
are creaming
Kanye!
over Don the Two, not going to be released tonight, I guarantee it. But because
100%.
we
But
all know Kanye. But if it does release tonight, expect hopefully a special Don the Two edition of Chats to Choose podcast.
and you know what? If it releases, say next week, or it releases some point where that
Whenever it
week we
does.
have free
Yeah.
time, we'll try our
Yeah.
best to do an album review. And we're
I'd love
gonna
to do
try.
one for the up and coming Rex album. You heard about it?
Yes, I
I'd love to do
don't.
one
I
for
have
it.
no idea. I don't follow him at all, so I don't know when it's coming out. But
Oh,
I love
serious?
Rex. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think he's
I think it's
Rex Orange
30.
Counties.
I think it's late March.
Okay, well, I
I
mean,
think it's late March. Yeah, but
just around the corner. Like, obviously, I've just you mentioning the future. I have not thought for when it comes to this podcast. I don't think further than a week ahead. So I've just realized
rightfully
that, like,
so.
obviously, you guys know we've talked about it before. We are both uni students. We're going to have
Yeah.
exams. It may be tough to do
Oh,
episodes during our
yeah.
exam season, but if we feel like we're ahead on revision,
Yeah. Hey,
or
this
whatever,
is something that we need to keep ahead of revision for.
yeah,
I feel
exactly,
so.
and
Yeah,
this will motivate me to try and stay on top of my
to get it
shit.
done. Yeah, absolutely. Is that or fail uni? So you know.
Yeah, I mean, if I feel uni, at least I have this to fall back on. So
Well, I wouldn't be too. That's the Kanye West ego coming into play there.
I mean, that's maybe why I'm a fan.
We gonna
boy, you know
blow
what
up.
I'm saying?
We gonna blow up. I'm gonna get one of my uni flatmates to film me making this every day.
Hey, yo,
I'm just
yo,
being
yo,
really arrogant.
hold on,
Yo, Murph.
Let me get up the camera real quick. Yo, mom, look, we making it. We gonna
Yo.
make it. We gonna make it. Look, yeah.
I'm gonna move my mom out the trenches. I'm gonna move my daddy out the trenches. No way, man.
But
Yeah,
yeah, I don't think I have anything else to say. Do you have anything else you wanna?
No, that's more or less me. It was an interesting week of music, and I'm excited for the next.
Yeah, I can't wait.
It is.
So yeah, I think
Yeah.
that's us, and we'll
That's
see you
us.
all next week.
Thank you very much for the listening.
Yeah, see you. Peace.
Goodbye.